Hey, NASDOG. We get the best dope on the markets. I am your host, Alan Palmer, an old floor local human. Humanoids are the computers that are look like humans. What are we looking at here? Okay, so let's go to here's silver right here, right now. Okay, here's the chart right here. Okay, and we're just playing some lines here. We don't really have levels. We're just playing lines. This is actually drawn over here, off the recent low. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is a. That's not where it was taken off of. Okay. It was. That means it's a different duration. Maybe it was the day before his low. So here's where we are at silver. We got this. It's trend line. It's a trend line here. Let's go look at it on a daily. Okay. That's where we are on a daily. Okay. Let's blow that up a little bit. This is where we are. Goodness gracious. That was a nice $10 move, man. Okay. So here, this one here. Okay, so I'll do things like this here. I'll make this a... Okay, so we're going to look over there. Oops. Let me move over that scale. 80... Oh, 80-16. You know what's interesting? 80-16 is two levels here. What do we got here? We're right around 80. Right this very second here. Let's go to crude oil. This is really interesting, okay? So in the, here, now I got to move the screen over a little bit more here. 98.64 is the high here last night, okay? It was on the 5 p.m. opening of today's session, okay? So that's when the session's open. Anyway, we traded up here. Let's see if we got something over here. And we do, okay? Because I've been talking about this for a long time. I've been talking about this since we were up at 117, okay? This is the green. They're on the way up here, okay? Look at this here. You got two greens. You got an orange. I don't know where the other orange is. And you got these two olives. Well, you know what? I think that orange is stuck right on this green over here. Okay, but anyway, so we went up to, as a matter of fact, we rolled. I'm sorry, when I said 117, that was in the May contract. Okay, this is the June. We got up to 107 and change. Okay, these would be sell numbers here. Okay, this one was quite sloppy here, but look at you play some lines. And these are candlestick trend lines. You want to learn how to draw those. I have, as a matter of fact, they've been working for 10 years because I got a video on it. If you want to throw some support this way, I can, mail it out to you or whatever. We can, if you want to learn that. So it was just a pivot, okay? You go from the olives to the greens, okay? I'll show you another example of that in the, look at this, we're down 30. Bean oil. This is bean oil here, okay? Got a 70 tick range, 1%, 74.94, okay? I was unable over here. What was this over here? 74.85. If you sold it against this, okay, this is a previous high here, okay, that's programmed, okay? I had something to sell up here at 15 here. That was unable, okay? And that's in the bean oil, okay? Because we hit the olive, and we could be going down to the green there. That's 69.32. This is July bean oil, okay? So, and it doesn't. You can't rule out. We come back up here and trade this at this olive here, And if we got a rally like that in crude, I think those would be places to sell that, okay? These are trading markets, okay? I don't know why I neglect gold, okay? Let's look at gold here. Okay, I just had this little set in here. Okay, we were just looking for a trade here. And here you had that olive sell. Okay, these are tiny. Okay, this is how the algos, they have it in all, not all time frames, but they can be in all time frames. Anyway, so we came up here, just played a couple trend lines here. Nothing to say about here. And this should actually come off here now. Okay, so we came down here. Was this today? This was yesterday. Yeah, we came down to these green X's right here. Okay, it's just like these. If you see them displayed in the right-hand column, that means they're current. Now, they could be See, some of them go longer term, okay? And then here, this one just starts right here, okay? And here, so you had this cross through right here. These are just pivots, okay? Here you got a close of something here. You close over it, and then the next bar, it's the low here, 44.60. 44.50 was the number. See that? Okay, so I went over here. You're looking at the low. Okay, 46, 44.60. The high is 60.90. Okay, then we're running these sevens here. Okay, so this was already in a buy pattern. You know, because it's a breakout. Because it's a breakout. You're making new highs, and the momentum funds just go here. These would be levels here, you know, if you're looking to buy a spike or trade off some lines. Here, I'll give a bigger look at it here. So you can take a peek here. You can pause the screen here up at 4,800. You got a couple reds, $30 higher than that. Okay, and let's go to a daily here because this might have been the low here in gold. You know, you'd have to revisit that over here, and you still have this risk of the central banks having to sell this thing because this crude oil thing is not resolved in Europe only. The U.S. has all the oil. Trump's got all the cards, okay? Look, that's what it is, okay? Hopefully you're not deranged that, you know, that clouds your judgment because politics has always been a part of the markets. Okay, let's go to, you know what, let's take one more look at bean oil here because I'm kind of, today is Friday. Unemployment came out better than expected, 115,000. The estimate was plus 65,000 jobs added. Okay, here's bean oil here. We're hanging right around the 74.47. Okay, see this one right here, 74.52. That's the trend line. Okay, and you got something else right there. Okay, so I thought that was because we had clients that bought it here on this break. Just taking it off here, it was 300 points fast. 76.50 to 73.50. Okay, it was just 2 days. Bingo, bango. And because here, now listen, we'll probably end up going down here, okay? But right here, you know, listen, we could rally over here. Hopefully we do. Hopefully, let's jack this thing up. That's bean oil. But anyway, my point is, so we're sitting right over here. Okay, you see what this is right here? Where this start? Oh, actually, look at this low. 74.54. Okay, these would be charts that you would get if you subscribed, and I would send them to your private email. Okay, and it's just clean. You don't have to get an explanation. I do write a little tidbits, and it's not that I'm right or wrong. Okay, you're talking about you're paying for the levels. Okay, so for example, you know, and you'd learn what this is. 74.54. Was that exact? That was exact. Look at that, man. You know, okay, there's the guy that's standing there with a 3-tick stop. He's, you know, he'll either take a shot and you know, you think I'm making it up, but I mean, that's why it holds, right? Well, anyway, so now we're just right under it here. So, you know what? Yeah, it's Friday, man. Let's jack this thing up. I don't know where we're going here, but this is going to be a pivot here. 74, and then here, 74.61 here. This will be going up this morning at, 61, okay, when we open the day session, the bank hours. Okay. Okay, this is July corn interday here. Here, you can see right here, same thing. The green X is 68.25. Okay, that we go down to it. Here, we get under this. We open here, under here. This is the money manager. He's like, he needs to get out right away. This day. Sells it underneath here. Here's a little tail up here to 74.75. Let's see if it hit. 75 hit. You would have been filled if you had it go at 4 in the goats. I would pick 4.5, you know, just to make sure that you get filled, you know, just because if you're at 4 in the goats and if it was exact like that other one in wherever that was, gold or bean oil, that would be, you know, you'd be unable, you know, and you know, when you get these big swings like that, you want to get on, you know, in my opinion. So let's look at the corn here. This is an interday here, okay? What's that little pattern right there until the end of the day? You get the sell-off and it came right back. That's kind of interesting, you know? So anyway, you come back here. Let's go to a little bit longer term here. This is corn. Let's go to a daily. Okay. See right here? This is a trader's eye, Okay, I have that highlighted. Okay, now it looks kind of obvious. And I don't know why this is going down here. This would be your number right here, 63. Okay, I don't know what that's from here, why it's going down. See how it's going down? And anyway, it was a nice buy there. Okay, just on a fast 25-cent break here. Okay, we're just in this big range, and you get 1, 2, 3. 3 days down, okay? It's 5%. What was it? 87 to 62, just under 5%. 87. Oh, it's 25 cents. That's 5%. Okay, that's 5% break. 5% break. Sorry about that. Make math your friend. I'll go to beans right after this. This is wheat here. Okay, here you can see a reversal down. The long-term trend lines hold for the day, even though that's a bearish signal. Next day you open up and now it trades and we pound down. We make a new low, kind of come back. We're playing this long-term trend line. Let's see what it is here, just for shnikes and giggles. 05 and 02. Okay, so I would make a case. For example, I'm making this up, okay? You have to go back and go look at 02 and 05 and see what the percent increase was from 1 year to one for that 3-year period. But let's just say it's an inflation rate of a half of 1%, okay? Then that would be value, in the long-term scheme, okay? I'm making that up here to make a point. So big picture, first of all, it's wheat, and we've got things changing rapidly, but we just made new highs here. Look to buy it on a break. We'll see if this trend line holds. We'll see if it holds, especially on a Friday here, okay? And then let's just take a glance at soybeans, and we'll end this here, okay? So same kind of thing. We went up and made a couple, like maybe a 2-year high, okay? And then here, you know what that's called? That's called an island top. You gap up, you gap down. And actually, so whatever this is right here. And anyway, that's where it is here. You could see those. This is a little area here. And now here, all of a sudden, it's the high, okay? We're just trading here. Here you could see we got higher lows here. If this thing is getting ready to turn, okay, that possibly might be a trade here. What is this on? This is on like my 60-minute chart, but it's a little bit shorter term. Okay, so I think we're going to call this a wrap. I'm going to do a cattle video here because cattle was just up at record highs here, and we almost went limit down yesterday, real early, and came almost all the way back, and then leaked a little bit late. So I don't know what the deal is in cattle, but it's not expected to go lower. So anyway, email me arp@nasdog.com. Thanks for watching. Always use a risk stop to stop the risk.